Amongst all of these stories that we're doing today, everyone seems to have forgotten that basically Israel launched a series of what were very, very accurate and very specific attacks on Iran over the weekend, and everybody seems to have forgotten that. So let's get back into that and just see where we all are. Philip, very good morning to you.
Good morning, Mike.
Good to talk to you. It seems as though people have seen sense at some point in Iran and decided we maybe shouldn't retaliate against Israel. I think after Israel sort of hit some of their very sensitive drone areas and some of their sensitive military areas, there was a bit of a response from Hezbollah in Lebanon, but nothing from Iran.
Yeah, nothing yet. You know, there's still a lot of rhetoric coming out, but the rhetoric is dialing down the potential for there being a response, which is a good thing. And Israel's attack was very, very carefully targeted to make sure it didn't hit, any infrastructure that could be escalatory in its approach. But it was a significant attack.
Yeah.
It is hit Iran hard.
And is it Netanyahu flexing his muscles now and basically saying we can go after anyone, we can get anyone?
Well, the nature of the attack is Netanyahu doing that, and it will have concerned the Iranians completely, because it seems that, looking at different reporting, the Israelis have actually taken out the majority of Iran's integrated air defense system. Now, that was using its S-300 and radars that can use S-400 missiles. These are significant because it won't only be concerning Iran, but it'll be concerning Vladimir Putin as well, because they're his systems, and it seems as if the Israelis managed to just fly straight through it.
Yeah, absolutely. So at the moment, we've got sort of the UN meeting in various different points around the world. I think Gutierrez was in the BRICS conference at one point, wasn't he, talking to Vladimir Putin and shaking hands with him. The United Nations still very much sort of anti-Israeli with its rhetoric, but Netanyahu really pretty much ignoring them.
Well, he is, and we're seeing some embarrassing things coming out of the United Nations. I don't know why everyone is backing terror organizations like Hamas and Hezbollah over what Israel is trying to do to destroy them. The United Nations Security Council Resolution 1701, signed in 2006, required Hezbollah to be disbanded and there to be no other military forces in the southern part of Lebanon other than United Nations forces. Well, that clearly hasn't happened.
No, it absolutely hasn't happened. And what's the relationship now with the other countries in the Gulf? Because obviously, they might not be able to admit it publicly, but I know that people certainly in government in the UAE and in Saudi are quite happy that the Israelis are deconstructing these terrorist organisations.
Oh, they're very happy behind closed doors that Israel is doing what it's doing. Overtly, they will come out with their condemnations and their almost anti-Israeli statements. They'll not quite go that far, but if you look at how many of the Gulf states have opened up their countries for refugees coming out of Gaza, it adds up to none. Right. And that shows what they think of the area, including Egypt. And we have to remember that Hamas grew out of the Egyptian Brotherhood, which a few years ago nearly destabilized the whole country. Yeah. So they're not popular in the area. Lebanon itself has not come out and condemned Israel for what it's doing against Hezbollah, because it wants Hezbollah out of its country.
Slightly perverse, isn't it, that there's more support for Hezbollah in London than there is in Beirut?
Well, it shows the naivety of the people that are out protesting and things. But this is also being manipulated by the Iranian Revolutionary Guards Corps, the intelligence assets that they've got in different capitals, and is being backed and enhanced by what's coming out of Putin. This is all linked. There are links going on behind closed doors to try and destabilize the West. And I think Hamas, Hezbollah have won in one area. They own the information sphere. They're stimulating this unrest in different capitals around the world, and that's a win for them. But they're losing tactically because the Israelis are just beating them hard.
Yeah, absolutely. Long may it continue. Philip Ingram, thank you very much indeed. MBE, former senior military intelligence officer.